Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Flat Pack Show. Another episode. I think it's episode 74, if I'm not mistaken. I'm your
I
host.
think.
I think it is. I'm your host, Flatmeister, who got Switch Point.
Hello, hello.
Good old Switch. Oh, God.
Oh no, sorry. I was like just gonna say hello, hello, and that you can choose to pay. You can choose to pay to unlock me, or if you play like 100 hours, you might have a chance to unlock me.
Switch Point's a big grind.
Yeah.
we got Nerd Waffle. What kind of surprise mechanic are you?
I'm I'm not a surprise mechanic. I like the no, I'm a surprise mechanic.
He's mechanically surprised.
Well,
Yeah.
see, I'm the surprise mechanic that's a loot crate until I'm illegal. And then I'm a different word altogether.
A waffle loot crate, like
I'm a waffle surprise. Oh my god, that's ridiculous! Have you guys seen the meme too, where it's like was it what do they call it, game surprise or loot surprise? And then it says underneath, well, piracy is just
oh, yeah.
is just
where is
what
that
is
meme? Oh, well,
I retweeted it.
Yeah, it was
it's great.
It goes.
Oh.
That's it. It had this. It had the picture of the EA or Epic lady. Oh, what was it? She said, "Oh, we like to call them surprise mechanics." And then there's it's like a screen. What do they call it? Like a. What do they call those photos online?
You mean GIF?
Not a GIF. No. Oh my god! Why am I having a brain fart now? But it's a stock footage. That's it. It's a stock
footage.
Stock picture of a guy in a pirate outfit, and he goes, "Oh yeah, well this is just piracy discount."
No, piracy is a surprise It says, I found it.
Yeah, that's it.
Loot boxes are surprise mechanics.
Yeah,
and it's the lady, and then it goes down.
Please.
It's a stock photo of a pirate,
Here
which
we
is
go.
funny enough because it actually has the watermarks on it. It says piracy is a surprise discount.
Yeah, it's up on the screen. I found it.
And I'm like, you know what? Touche.
I mean, it's true.
Also, we've got Rabbit Sensei. Rabbit Sensei in the chat. He goes, "Yeah, only 3 of us this time. Crumple isn't able to join us, for these next few weeks. It isn't until the summer holidays, isn't it?"
Yeah, he's trying to figure out his whole schedule, I think, because I mean, he went back to school. You guys got to wish him well. Hope for the best from it. You know, he's trying to do the learns. He's trying to learn things.
You know that video of that teacher telling that Scottish student off, and I tweeted to Crumple. I said, "You didn't get kicked out of class, did you, Crumple? This does really sound like it." He goes, the student was filming, like secretly going, "There's only 2 genders," is factual, and the teacher was going, "I don't care what you think is scientifically factual. This is the authority policy or something." It's like, Jesus, you sound indoctrinated. Like that sounds something straight out of Orwell.
Yeah. Yeah, so Crumple is our surprise mechanic of not being here today.
I see. So before we actually get into it, I think we should probably talk about the important stuff, because I mean we're probably going to be joking for most of the stream, and we want to make sure there's the jokes land. We'll have a good time. So first of all, there's a phishing scheme going around on Discord. So how this phishing scheme works is you're going to get a link from somebody like who's on your friends list.
Yeah, I'll bring it.
It's going to look like it's going to look like a Discord link saying, "Oh, we're going to offer you like Discord Nitro for free or something." From like a friend, like, "This link worked for me, you can try it." Like there's like multiple versions of like what this link looks like. like the person has examples like, hey bro, I know we ain't talked in a while, but I thought you might find this interesting, and like, or stuff like, you know, yo, my friend had just sent me this referral link for Nitro. It works for me. You should be able to get it too if you want to try. It's free, stuff like that, right? The best way to note that, like, okay, of course, I probably don't have to explain to most people, don't click on suspicious links that are sent to you. But I mean, again, these are being sent to look like they're from your friend, so like from a friend, somebody who's in your friends list. And usually, you can tell it's not a proper Discord link because it'll have like a few extra letters, like discordgg.ga, instead of like the proper Discord URL in there. So, but it tries to look like the proper Discord URL. So, like, because if I remember correctly, I think if it's within a embedded Discord link that's in actual Discord, I think it's like .gg or whatever, something like that. Always double check. Anyway, even clicking on the link is one thing. Here's where it gets intriguing. Once you click on the link, it asks you to sign in. If you're unsure of that, I would just back away, and you shouldn't anyway. So here's the thing, like, you should never sign into questionable links to begin with. And Discord has recently come out with their little discussion about this and indicated that please don't click on like any links saying you have free Discord or free Nitro or anything of that nature. Now, how a phishing scheme works is basically what happens is you sign in. As soon as you click on that link and you sign in, that information is key logged, and they take it to then sign into your account to see if there's anything they can then get, be it credit card information, personal information they could use against you, payment details, access to any other linked accounts that you might have that are on there, anything that they think might be like worth using either against you or to gain something on their hand, like on their own. And then what they'll do is, as part of this phishing scheme, they'll use a bot that'll actually, like, the bot will be searching for it through information, but that bot will then use your account to then send that same link to other people so they can phish those other people. So even if they don't get anything from you, they can use that to get something from somebody else that potentially has something if you don't have anything.
And that's important too, because if you do get if you like make a mistake or something, because it can happen. You accidentally click on the link, you're half asleep, you didn't have your coffee yet, and you click on the link and you, I don't know, half asleep logged in, or maybe you weren't half asleep, maybe you just, I don't know, you just did it. Do not give them money, because sometimes they will ask, or maybe all of the time they will ask for money. And a common mistake I saw when I was working in a tech job was especially senior citizens, but they would then get really scared and start trying to pay these people. You're not in as deep as you think. Like, you're still, you should still take care of it, but you're not as deep as you think until you pay them, because then they have your banking information and everything.
So yeah, Discord has definitely has made aware that they are has made people aware that they are aware of this. They've actually put up a statement today, and they've indicated that if you have any issues, if your account has been taken, to contact them via support. I believe it's like support.discord.com or something of that nature. It's on their Twitter page. You can just go. There's a message on their Twitter page. You can just go to their Twitter page. They have it all there. They have a fun little message actually saying, "Don't click suspicious links. Websites that claim to give you free Nitro in exchange for your login are lies. Discord or Discord employees will never ask you for your login credentials. This has been a message from Safety Jim." We have like a little picture there of Safety Jim who looks like a little postman.
Goddamn Safety Jim doing his duty.
Yep. And of course, if you ever need to get your information, of course, returned to you, or if you need them to help you, just go to, of course, the support site. So just go to their main website and then go to support. They'll definitely try to help you with this. Whatever they can. If they can't get your account back, they'll probably still at least try to try to spoof all the information back and then delete the old account for you or whatever they can do. So,
Yeah. I can see that is so easy to accidentally click on a false link like that. What was it? It said, I've just kind of bloody forgotten what order it was in. Where's the guy's tweet? Here we go. How they trip it up with Discord GG.GA Nitro, when what Discord's official link is Discord.GG, isn't it?
Something like that, yeah.
So that it's the other. Just don't click on one that says Discord GG dot blah blah blah.
No, there could be other phishing links other than that one. Keep that in mind. Yeah. Like there could be other one.
Yeah. This splatter shard that you split splattered, the account that you retweeted. He said about friends who possibly have the virus that are in your groups and stuff.
Yeah. He mentioned like if you have friends that are in your groups that have the virus, try to purge the account, get rid of it from the server, and try to like of course report the account that's been hacked to Discord, and of course like try to figure out what your friend's new account is that they've made a new account and get them and see what they can do to be put back into the server with the proper permissions and everything. Try to mirror everything back to normal. There's certain things you can do of course to avoid these accounts. And also to kind of watch out for.
Yeah. Always wear protection, Rabbit.
I mean, they can always change up, but I believe one of the things you can do is if you know of them and you have a couple of minutes, even just blocking them would maybe do a little bit of help.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, again, they're always changing and they're always trying to do things up, so you do have to still be careful, but it's something you can do if you want to do something.
Oh yeah, definitely. Anyway, I mean that's just a kind of a little warning. Get that out there. Let people know. Try to let anyone know as well.
Now that I know that you know that I know, and then everybody knows.
Oh shit!
It was flat.
But anyway, but yeah, like I don't know. I'll let one of you guys decide what the next topic will be because I mean that was just something I wanted to get out there for people.
I'll tell you what the next topic is.
Mm-hmm.
Surprise!
My bum is on the ship,
the battle
ship. I hope it doesn't fire its cannon.
Oh no!
For those who
has actually gone up in the recent years.
Tom Green.
Yeah. He's referencing Tom Green.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
I was thinking about it the other day, and I was like, you know what? We don't have enough stupid humor anymore.
Like sort of silly slapstick.
Yeah, because it's all offensive, and it was offensive. Like Tom Green was offensive back then. But the thing is I think a lot of people like 10 years ago would be like offended, and they'd be like, "Okay, I'm offended, and I really hate this, and I'm really displeased with this." And I think that guy's an idiot. Nowadays, he would go down the street probably and do a prank and would be shot by an SJW or something. Probably.
Can we? I don't know. If we can get like Tom Green and like have him come on and we just like watch Freddy Got Fingered with Tom Green.
I've never watched that movie. To shock you, I've never watched that movie.
Really?
Yep.
Oh my God! Honestly think I have to disconnect this call now and go and hug my pillow and rock back and forth and think there's a better world out there.
I can honestly say that Flatmeister's never been fingered, and
so you don't know what you're missing.
Weird movie, man. Okay, so I want to point out, like, I wouldn't say I hate or love the movie, but it is like, okay. The best way to explain it is like imagine like Tom Green is like doing a stand-up bit, but like it's a movie.
Yeah. Daddy, Rabbit in the chat that says, "Daddy, do you want some sausages? Daddy, would you like to say some sausage? Daddy, would you like
some sausages?"
But, like
fingers crossed.
Crossed. Yeah, but like that is the best way to explain it because like there's no real coherent plot other than like Tom Green.
There is.
I mean, other than Tom
looking
Green wants to be a
become an
cartoonist,
animator.
but like outside of that, everything else is just kind of disjointed.
Yeah, but there's still a plot. It's a very simple, right to the point plot, but and at the same time not right to the point plot, but it is there.
There's a scene where he ends up like in Africa for whatever reason.
Because he got rich. He basically did make his dream, made a ton of money, and then blew it all on a gag on his dad.
Yeah, like when I said the movie feels like just like one giant comedy skit, it literally is one like it's like watching him do stand-up comedy, but like he was given like an endless budget to make a movie instead, and he was like, okay, well, I guess I'll do my comedy bit, but as a movie.
So I think
that was a funny tangent.
Like, he could go too far for me sometimes. Like, there's two parts in the movie I'm not too fond of, but like, I was thinking about it, and I added it to my Google Play music list or whatever, the Bum Bum song, which isn't on Spotify, but it's on Google
on YouTube,
Play Music or whatever, which is great. Anyways, I was listening to it on the way home, and I was like, you know what? The problem is that we can't laugh at ourselves. And then I thought, I got my brain thinking and stuff for once in my life, and I was thinking like, wow, like I'm Owen Wilson, wow, but
wow.
But at the same time, I'm thinking like, I instantly thought like, why so serious? And I was like, you know, it's funny because the Joker these days seems like more of a hero than a villain if he actually existed in 2019. Because, like, literally, why so serious? We live in a society that is becoming more and more serious and too serious that they can't laugh at themselves. And can't take a joke, and everything's offensive, and all of this stuff. And comedians I shouldn't say comedians are dying, but the art of comedy is dying because they're like, oh well, I still laugh at jokes. So this guy,
as long as they're punching up, not down, is what SJW.
Oh, this guy walked into a house. Ha! That's really funny. No, it's not. It's lame. You might think it's hilarious, but other people don't. And I think that it's important to laugh. And I think, like, you know, all these groups, like, and they're throwing around the word educated and stuff like that. What are you educating on? Like, yes, I agree. We should be more tolerant and we should accept people and stuff like that. But what's the education on? Like, learning to hold in comedy and laughter and trade it for anxiety and depression and just social anxiety because you're too afraid to talk to anybody, because if you talk to anybody, somebody could say something that you don't like hearing. I don't know. That's just what happened to me on the way home yesterday, and I thought, wow, it's interesting that we can't laugh anymore, it seems.
It's true.
But with that massive tangent, we went well off tangent there.
Oh, sorry.
No, you're all right. But yeah, I need to watch Freddy Got Fingered. That is a movie that I need to watch.
All right.
No, you're all right. Don't apologise, dude. It was for people wondering why we randomly went off that tangent. Yeah, throughout the week we started just talking about sort of silly slapstick comedy, and that song came. We started singing it in the DM, didn't we?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
But, yeah, with the main.
What was the other topic?
But the main topic was with regards to surprise mechanics.
Yes. I was surprised to hear about that.
Well, okay, so surprise mechanics is weird to me because, like, okay, why? Okay, well, the veto thing has nothing to do with surprise mechanics. That's just Veto wants to defend the Epic Game Store. We can talk about that later if you guys want to.
Yeah.
So EA was recently put into recently put into court in regards to their, because like there's a whole thing discussing like the loot boxes and how loot boxes work, and and what like what loot boxes what loot boxes have, and why they think loot boxes are a good idea or whatever. I don't get it.
And that's it. They were in front of House of Commons, the Digital Culture, Media and Sport Committee.
Yeah.
In the UK.
Mm-hmm. And so when asked, like, okay, do you consider what you have loot boxes? Like they asked, okay, do you consider your loot boxes to be unfair or like unlawful or whatever? And they were like, I don't know, I remember the exact question, but like they were like, oh, well, we don't like to consider loot boxes. We like to consider surprise mechanics. Like, what is that? Okay, how? And there's like define surprise mechanics. Oh, well, we like to think of like a Kinder Egg, or like when you go to pick up like a box of cards for like Magic or Yu-Gi-Oh or something. Like, we consider it surprise mechanics.
Throwing other companies under the bus. Yeah.
The fox with the 10 commandments of Steam and Epic.
Oh well, that's Rags. That's our boy Rags there, and he reminds us. Our boy Rags, the PC gamer, reminds us that Steam has cloud saves. Epic does not. Steam has user profiles. Epic does not. Steam has forums for games. Epic does not. Steam has mod distribution. Epic does not. Like as in game mods.
Yeah.
Steam has groups for games. Epic does not. Steam has item trading. Epic does not. Steam has library sorting. Epic does not. Steam has I can't read the last one there.
Has Mario? No, what does it say?
Not Mario.
Mario.
What does it say? I'm trying to read it. It's so bloody small.
Yeah, I can't read the last one. But like the idea is that like just Epic just is not a full store. And again, Steam's not even like one of my like is not my like all-time favorite. I'm a multi-store user when it comes to PC gaming. Like I use GOG, I use Steam. I even use the Microsoft Game Store. You know what I mean? Like I have multiple stores that I use. The thing is like Steam is just so bad. And then Epic is just so bad. Like it's missing certain key consumer features that like Epic is not looking very hot. I just wanted to share that because we were talking about Epic.
Yeah, that was really cool. That was.
Yeah. Also, glory to Rags. He's a good doggo.
Yeah, I can't believe this. Kerry Hopkins lady. Just this one is showing up on the screen. Yeah. This woman on the left here with the black hair, she says, we don't call them loot boxes, we call them surprise mechanics. You can imagine that they refer to them as that in the boardroom, members of the board. We call them surprise mechanics. It's just...
Well, I think... Oh, go ahead, sorry.
I was about to say, these people aren't gamers. They're lawyers and representatives and high execs. You know, they got nothing to do with gaming, so they have a complete disconnect from the gaming industry and gaming culture. They're completely disconnected from it.
Well, here's the thing: like, I have nothing against these. If you want to include these gambling like mechanics into your game or whatever you want to call them, I mean, I only ask for
surprise gambling,
surprise mechanics, whatever you want to damn call. I ask for a few things. Because I'm not saying that you should like remove them. I'm gonna say like this. Okay. Put up the odds. Like let us know what are the chances. Like what's the level of rarities of each item type.
No duplicates.
Yeah, like no duplicates. If it's deemed that it's going to increase the rating of your game for having it, then so be it. Like we need to have we need to have clear definition of what they are and what they entail if they're going to be in your game. Because if like I understand why they're there. I'm not even arguing like why they're there. I know they're there for you to make extra money from your game after like the initial sales.
Yeah.
Even though like the people working on your game probably barely see any of that money from those things. But like I'm not even gonna say you can't have them. I'm going to say be honest and forthright with what they are. But again, like there's a lot of regulation that needs to go into this. You can't just say like, okay, like I said earlier on one of my tweets, don't feed me shit and call it chocolate, right? Like honestly, this is still like anything by any other name. You can call it like any surprise mechanic or loot box by any other name is still the same damn thing at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Like right now there's even arguments about like in the Magic community and the Yu-Gi-Oh community about whether or not like the card packs are even fair for what you get from the card packs, and because like sure they like there's a better understanding of what the odds are in that, but even they have their problems because of how predatory they're becoming. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it is getting really bad.
Well, it's just companies are like when it was first around that was fine, but companies are starting to like take advantage of it and advantage of their customers and advantage of trying to get more and more money and do whatever they can to get more and more money, including call it not gambling and be able to get minors to buy it.
Yeah.
Then that's when it starts becoming a problem. Before it was like, okay, well we have booster packs and they add to the game, they're fine, whatever, $5 and whatnot.
Yeah.
Now it's like, well, card quality's going down in Magic sometimes not, and we're trying to attract more kids into the game, and we are like a whole bunch of different things.
Thing is, though, I think parents are also just as much to blame. Like they should be.
Yes.
They should be supervising their child and not let their child have access to the credit card, or with the credit card details being on the system, and that they're able to just readily purchase things. The amount of times that we have caught my little brother-in-law Liam trying to purchase Robux from Roblox, or begging his friend to buy him Robux from his parents' credit card. Like we really told him off at that. I'm like we tell him plenty of times like about loot boxes and microtransactions and how they're a stain on the gaming industry, and presumably his friend at school has readily access to his parents' credit card.
Yeah, see, I think that parents are always responsible for their kids, and I don't care. Like a parent, it's funny. I see parents and they're like, but, and I'm like, no, you are responsible for this child. You are responsible for bringing them up as a decent human being, and you are responsible anytime that they do wrong, and you are responsible for keeping them away from things that are not for children or things that are not safe for them.
Yeah.
And that is something like you need to teach your children about money, and you can't do that handing them a credit card. That's not teaching a kid about money. And I think like a lot of people are like, well, what if they're rich or whatever? Then, well, I think even more you have to teach them about money. I think even for your sake, I think you should be like, well, I got here because I scrimped and saved and worked hard and know the value of money. I need to teach my kids the same thing. Yeah. So I think even more so it applies to that situation.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, like it's important to be it's important to to teach anyone the right from wrong. Like, sure, I mean, there's only so much blame you can put onto other people. Before you have to say, okay, well, like, did you even teach them proper values? So before that, was even a thing. Like,
Yeah. It doesn't help EA's case when the woman said surprise mechanics like Kinder eggs. I'm like,
Yeah.
you've just said that it's basically admitting that you are kind of
VLC
preying on
machines are
kids.
kind of like Kinder eggs too, you know.
yeah,
You never know what you're gonna get. You could get a whole bunch of money and buy a whole bunch of Kinder eggs.
Oh god, like fancy saying.
I don't think, and for the record, I don't think it's
Yeah.
always parents' fault, and I don't like. I think it's just. I think it's a combination. I think parents need to watch their children, and companies need to be responsible for their creations too. Like, they're the parents of these games, and they need to be responsible for them as well. You know, make sure that they're being responsible with them, and making sure that they're doing their part in protecting children and protecting, because gambling's a serious thing, that people can get addicted to. I think a little bit of gambling or a little bit of that, fine, if you're of age and you know how to do it in moderation.
We had those YouTubers that were doing that CS:GO lotto skin lottery.
Yeah.
Where there was and that was gambling, and they had a young audience, and they're encouraging gambling there as well.
And you know what? Like, my parents sat around the kitchen table playing cards, and that's kind of like gambling. But you know what they played for? They played for like nickels or something, dimes, quarters, like small change kind of thing, just because they wanted to play for fun, and it was a gambling game,
Yeah.
But I mean, you can play for chips too. Like, that's the thing, is that I don't think any of us on the Flat Pack are saying, take away gambling completely. But if you are going to put it into your video games, and I think parents should follow the guidelines, but I think you should set guidelines, and I think you should set age restrictions. And I think that the video game rating and the movie rating are up for like a evaluation. Like, I think that we need to reevaluate what things are dangerous, and I think for games, gambling.
Yeah.
Well, okay, so here's my thing. Like, honestly, I think the rating systems themselves, like saying it's M, saying it's T, saying it's E, saying it's R, saying it's PG, whatever. I think that's all bad. And I think, here's the thing. Want to know why? Because I heard somebody mention an interesting way to rate things, and maybe you'll disagree with me, maybe you won't. I don't know, but actually, I kind of agree with it. What if we just indicate what things are in this movie, like what kind of supposed problematic things are in this movie? This has gore. This has swearing. This has stuff like this, and don't actually put a rating. Just this list of things that are in the movie, in a sub box, somewhere there.
Yeah.
And then you can decide. Okay, I'm okay with let's say taking Timmy to see slightly suggestive violence, but the swearing might be a bit much, so I won't go see that movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That way you don't even put a rating on it. You just tell them these are the things that are in the movie. The same thing, you can do the same thing for video games. These are things in the video game.
Yeah, I like that idea. I would add to it though. I would make a point where I would add to it though that there is a point where, okay, maybe there's 4 things or something like that. Maybe, I don't know, it could be a different number. I'm just saying it for the sake. There's 4 things in this, so it's too risky for children because of the combination of everything. You have to be 18 to go to this movie or buy this game. I know that there's always going to be people who slink around and cheat the system anyways, and I know that it's up to the parents to hold that responsibility, but I think we need to also I'm also speaking from example that I was a little shit in some ways. I snuck into movies and shit like that.
Naughty boy.
But I also worked at a cinema. I also worked at a cinema too, so
Like,
I think there's a balance, right?
Yeah.
well, yeah, I think there's a balance, and like, I mean, I'm not saying that we wouldn't have something in place. To
Yeah.
for something like where we say, well, this is something where normally, like, the establishment may not let the kid in. I'm speaking more along the lines of like, just get ready, get like, okay, we can create like a thing where the establishment says like, oh, there's this level of violence, this level of nudity. Don't let kids in unless we get approval from a parent. Sure, but like when it comes to like the rating, I don't think there should just be a rating on it.
No.
Like, because
I agree. I think that having a rating is stupid. It's either okay for minors or it's not okay for minors.
Yeah.
I think that's how I think, and I think that we should have more parent involvement for their specific child. But I also think that if it's really not good for a child, it doesn't matter if it's rated. It's rated PG-14, so maybe. No, it's not good for children. Then maybe they shouldn't go. There's no ifs, ands, or buts.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, like, and that's fine. I mean, I can't tell a parent what they think is good for their child or not. But what I can definitely say is, in this case scenario, like what I can definitely say is, if you see the list of things that are in this movie, like there's a list, and you can see that list, and as a parent, if you say that's okay, and then you complain about it later, I'm like, well, did you see the list that's on the side of the box? And if you're not okay with the things that are on the side of that box, well, I can't do anything for you. Like, you went in knowing what was coming in before you even did it. You know?
Yeah.
Like, this movie discusses death. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh no, my little Timmy cried because the fish died. And like,
this movie has jokes in it. Oh crap, I'm offended.
Yeah, like
but you know, kids have poor sense of control. They don't have good self-control, do they? Quite impulsive.
Some kids can, but you can't really say, well, little Timmy can go in, but Sally can't, because it doesn't really transition well for kids.
Like my 11-year-old my 11-year-old cousin, or like my nephew pretty much. I take him to see movies all the time, and I buy him stuff all the time. He's very good about it. Like, he'll actually look at the stuff and be like, oh well, no, this is like, there's a time he was like, there was an M-rated game he wanted, and he was like, I'm not really sure if this is okay for me. And I said to him, like, okay, well, let me look it over. And I said to him, yeah, I see nothing wrong with this particularly. But he's like, he specifically said, like, he looked at the rating and he said, like, my mom doesn't normally let me buy M-rated games. Can you, like, look it over just to make sure that, like, it'll be okay?
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, there is a level of responsibility. He doesn't want to, like, disappoint his mom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, so that's fine.
Yeah. Rabbit Sensei brought up a good point in the chat. He goes, the only gambling I've ever seen as being alright for kids is when parents buy a whole bunch of candy and then let the kids use them in poker as chips. Teaches kids how bad it feels to lose them. I'm going all in.
Going in, I got 2 Tootsie Rolls and a no-hit.
Some Reese's Pieces.
My Thin Mints and...
I had it all. I had all the candy that I wanted.
There's just one kid left with packets of Fisherman's Friends. I don't like these, so I don't care.
I'd be that kid who'd be like, yeah, I want your Fisherman Friends.
Oh, they're bloody spicy. They're bloody minty and spicy, those are.
Yeah, but he wants it all. No.
Yeah, that is... Then again, what about if your kid is like on a winning streak and they're like, "Woo, yeah!" Unless you rig the game against them so they lose.
Well, I mean, like, here's the thing: like, I know me and like, actually, Nerdwolf, actually, because on the whole gambling thing, like, funny enough, Nerdwolf and I had like a whole discussion at one point about like how the casino in Pokemon was removed in like later games.
Yes.
And I mean, I understand why they removed it. And I don't but I personally don't think it was a problem, like, because it didn't really. But I mean, I can see where some people do think it's a problem. I personally never thought it was a problem anyway, though. I thought it was mostly silly stuff like that. Like it was a silly, like, poker, like, not even poker. It was like a roulette game you could play to get like coin in the game. But some people thought it was overly predatory. I was like, I never really saw it as such because like you couldn't buy outside forces. But
I thought
again,
it was a kind of on the cusp, but I think that they could have approached it differently instead of outright removing it. They could have put like a mini game of some sort in, like a maze that you go through that you win a lot or maybe like all the time, but it still takes a long ass time to get enough to get the prizes in the prize place.
Well, there was a different mini game. It was similar to like Minesweeper they had in one of the other
Yeah, and
in one
that's
of
the
the other
thing.
countries. But
That's the thing. I think that's a fair compromise because I think it's actually even better because I think it does take out the sort of because they are in a casino. It's called Game Corner or whatever, but they're playing on slot machines. And I think like a fair compromise is to put a different game in, which I think this switch point I think did, and make it so that kids have to work. Like that's the one good thing I liked about game. Well, I liked it all personally, but I'm trying to see from their point of view too. But I think that that's helpful because the one good thing about Game Corner is that you did have to work really, really hard and save your coins to get some really cool prizes. They could just do that in a different way, and it would teach kids that you have to continue to save and work hard and to get rewarded kind of thing. And you know, I think that that'd be good for kids.
Oh yeah.
But no, we got to remove it all. Like, you can't turn things around positively. Compromise and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, they're going to do what they're going to do. Honestly, in this case scenario, I think Nintendo didn't like. There was Nintendo or Game Freak. Kind of hard to tell which side of this, but whoever it was didn't want to go through the legality problems that come with that, and so. I mean, honestly, I don't know if I agree with them or not on this regards. I understand it, like because it is a hassle, especially with like some countries being more strict about those type of things than others. So, and especially when this is like when Pokemon they try to make it a worldwide release nowadays. Like, well, then it's a big thing, right? That you want to make sure that it meets that worldwide release recommendations. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, where was I? Yeah, I mean, I know that Pokemon's also going through some of its own problems. Oh, yeah, we can.
That's right. Go on, carry on what you were saying.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah. Also, Pokemon's kind of going through its own problems. I mean, you know what? How about we leave Epic because that's an entire topic on its own. We can leave that for another time, maybe next week or something.
Yeah.
But Pokemon is also going through its entire problems like, outside of like the whole Game Corner thing. I know that like there's talks that the National Dex might not be showing up in Sword and Shield, or they said that it isn't. I wouldn't be surprised though if they like do an update 6 months to a year down the line where they allow it. But like I know a lot of people were complaining about that, and I'm like, I can see where that complaint comes from. It's not going to stop me from playing the game because I've been playing Pokemon games for years, and I always try to play each game for the region that it's in. More so than for the National Dex, but for the people I get where they're coming from who want the National Dex and want to transfer all their Pokemon over, like I can understand like saying, oh well, let's say as an example, like, oh well, I can't have my Charmander in this game because the National Dex says that's not allowed, right? Because it's not part of this region, and I'm like, and I understand that, I really do, and I'm like. But what I dislike is the people who are saying, "Well, you should stand by us and not buy this game." And I'm like, well, no. I mean, I have different reasons for why I'm buying the game over yourself. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's not a deal breaker for me. If it's a deal breaker for you, by all means, don't buy the game. You know what I mean? Like, I completely understand that, and you can make your complaints. Like, I completely understand. Like, you have a team from all the way back in Gen 1 or Gen 2 or whatever gen, and you want to transfer that over and you want to continue the story with that Pokemon team. I get that. I do 100%.
Or maybe you just don't like any of the new.
Yeah, maybe you don't like any of the new ones and you want to use ones from a specific gen. Again, I get that. But like myself, who I make a new team every game I play. I go through specifically like to experience that generation, whether I like it or not. I make my decision based on that. For me, that's how I'm going to enjoy the new Pokemon game. That's how I plan to enjoy the new Pokemon game. I do that with every Pokemon game. Nerdwaffle knows this. He knows that's how I've played that way since round. I'd say before X and Y even maybe.
I heard some people are a little pissed off at Sword and Shield it's called?
Yeah, that's one of the reasons they're pissed off at it.
They're recycling assets and things like that as well.
Well, they're not recycling assets. The Pokemon are being remodeled, but I mean, I guess some of the assets might be recycled. I know some people said like the animation is not up to par, and I'm like, we haven't even seen what final animation or final tests or stuff like that is like. But
yeah,
I mean,
we should leave. Like, there's not much that's been released, and I think like the thing is we should leave it till some more has been released. And I'm always that kind of thing where, I want to see more before I start forming an opinion about things, because like, I don't know, there's just times where I thought, like in the past, I thought that things were going to be shit and they were good, and times I thought things were going to be good and they were shit. I'm talking to you, X-Men 3. I thought that, like, I saw the trailers to that movie when I was in high school. I was like, this is going to be the best. And then I went to the theaters and I was like, yeah, this is the worst.
But yeah. But yeah, like all I'm going to say about the National Dex thing is, by all means, I get your complaints. Just don't be a dick to the people that are still going to buy the game and going to try to enjoy it. I mean, maybe for them, maybe the National Dex wasn't a big deal. It wasn't a big deal breaker for them, and let them be. Let them have fun with their game. By all means, I'm not saying your complaint isn't valid. I'm saying your complaint is more than valid, and definitely you should bring it up to Nintendo. But don't berate the other fans who are okay without it being.
And trust me, I'm on there too. Like, I have my team. I like my team. I do try to pick new Pokemon, new regions. But I'm just saying that I I am saying that I'm there with you, and that I wish I'm hoping I get to play at least one of my favorite Pokemon. That's worrying to me because may not happen, even if they pick some from, like, I love Blastoise, but let's be honest, if they go throw any Pokemon in Gen 1, it's going to be Charizard or Pikachu or
well, I know Pikachu's in the game. Pikachu's the mascot.
Oh yeah.
He's in every game, but like
I'm saying Clefairy should have been the mascot.
Honestly, I think Gengar should have been the mascot, if you want to know my honest opinion, considering
Clefairy was supposed to be the mascot, but they went with Pikachu instead.
Yeah, but the only reason I say Gengar is because Gengar is the favorite of one of the designers.
What about Wooloo or whatever it's called?
Oh, Wooloo looks cute. I actually like Wooloo.
But I'm waiting to see if there's any I like. So far, I'm not a fan of some of the new ones, but
I like all the ones I've seen.
But there's still more to come, so I'm sort of waiting to see more, before. And even if I'm not disappointed, even if I am disappointed, I'm not gonna be like, oh yeah, this game sucks or whatever, because some people might like it.
Well, no, I mean, if you think it sucks, you think it sucks.
I don't know yet. I gotta see more.
Yeah, but like, for me, I'm excited for it. I'm looking forward to it. I mean, I like some of the new Pokemon that were shown already. Like, I like Corviknight looks cool. I also like Impidimp looks cute. I might put Impidimp.
I've not even seen Impidimp, but the name sound. You've sold me on the name. It sounds really cute and like it's something podgy.
He's a little Impidemon thing. He's cute. He's a fairy dark type, and I'm like, yeah, that's cool.
Impidimp. What's his evolution?
I'm kind of hoping that, like, if it's a male, that he turns into an incubus, and if he's a female, turns into a succubus.
And then they could be called Gimpidimp.
Gimpidimp. A gimp mask and a ball gag. And
I mean, like, It would be like if you were to do it, that'd be actually a nice change up from like because they usually do
From
a
kids
male.
games.
Yeah. Well, if they do the Impy Dimp where like the succubus, like a succubus call out and incubus call out, would be an interesting change up as compared to what is like because they always have like one Pokemon that has like a weird offshoot of evolution from male to female, and this would be an
well, no, not. I thought you were gonna say like a weird like human sort of.
Oh no, I wasn't even thinking of that at all.
I was thinking like Jinx, whatever. Like maybe they changed Jinx's name to Gimpy Dimp.
Oh no.
Gimpy Dimp.
Game Freak against gambling, but all for the BDSM.
Oh no.
Gimpy Dimp, use sex dungeon.
Well, also like the thunder.
Use gag.
But there's also like a corgi Pokemon, like as a Thunder Corgi, because of course they're in the UK, so they have to put a corgi in there.
I don't know if I saw the corgi one.
Oh, he's cute. He's a little Thunder Corgi with a heart on his butt.
Oh my god! Yeah, he's gonna be like my main. I'm gonna pick him as a starter, even though.
His name is Yamper. He's like you know this was created like I hope I fight the like a queen inspired Pokemon trainer and she has like an entire team of these Yampers.
Yeah, I'm gonna use that as my Pokemon. I don't care. Like even if you can find the only place you can find it's at the end. I don't care. It's gonna be my like I'm gonna go all the way to the end and get it and then like say it was my starter Pokemon.
Of course, why not? This is what let's see if I can find a good picture of Impy Dimp here. Oh, here you go. This right here is Impy Dimp. He's a cutie boy. I like Impy Dimp actually. He's a cutie boy. He's just a little devil kid who wants to be a Pokemans. Like and I like it.
That's a good one.
Oh yeah. I like Impy Dimp and Yamper and Impy Dimp were nice. They look cute. I like them both. And
we did have another subject, but we might have to carry that over to next.
Yeah,
we can talk about that next week.
Yeah, it's the Epic Store. Okay, you know what? We'll do a rant episode about the Epic Game Store and anti-consumerism and you know what? I might call out Vito because I'm getting tired of your shit, Vito.
Yeah.
I'm honestly, Vito, I'm calling you out right now. I'm getting tired of your shit. You might not even see this YouTube video. You might not even know who I am, Vito. Not a fucking care.
He's calling you out.
Yeah,
you might know him. You just might not care.
You know, I don't think.
But yeah, sorry, you have to cut the show a little short.
No worries. But we're cutting this short.
I'll explain to you sort of after the show. But so yeah, with that, thanks to everyone that tuned in live to the Flat Pack show. Thank you to Rabbit Sensei who tuned in. Don't forget the Flat Pack show every Wednesdays, 11 p.m. GMT, 6 p.m. Eastern. Pardon me, sorry. Had a hiccup there. So yes, been the Flat Pack show. I've been Flatmeister. It's been Switchpoint.
Yeah.
And
it's been Nerd Waffle.
Remember to hug the person next to you and keep it toasty. Also, I like the Corviknight. I'm just gonna say that now.
And so with that, we'll catch you in the next episode. Take it easy, Bob.